The Matrix trilogy opened the minds of anyone that watched the series. There are layers upon layers to decode in these movies, one being the wardrobe. The design doesn't just coincide with the time period of the trilogy, it also uses color symbolism to help define the character's purpose and intent. Released in March of 1999, The Matrix is set in 2199, or around that time, we really don't know.
We honestly don't know.
And follows the life of lead character Neo as he learns the truth about the Matrix and what it's for. Matrix wardrobe designer Kym Barrett has done various projects including but not limited to The Matrix Trilogy, The Matrix 4 currently scheduled for 2022 release, and Jordan Peele's thriller Us. Her sense of design incorporates whimsy, creativity, and strength, a combination of qualities that allows the moviegoer to be completely immersed in the virtual world being created on screen. We meet Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, in the first installment of The Matrix, a regular guy that has an office job during the day and does a little hacking on the side at night. At the start of his journey, we find Neo wearing a brown jacket, a representation of safety and isolation, a t-shirt, and blue jeans. Initially, his t-shirt appears to be blue, which would represent loyalty and trustworthiness, but it's hard to tell. Either way, his jeans are blue, and by the time he enters the loading program, his shirt is green, representing his tie to the Matrix. These colors used together help to glue the idea that Neo still had some trust in the fake reality and would have a hard time dismissing life as he knew it.
I don't believe it.
As he learns more about what he's truly capable of, we see him transition into all black, including a black trench coat. By the end of the first installment, Neo is the only one seen wearing a trench, at least until Reloaded, as a symbol of knowledge and representing the transition of power. In an interview with the Oscars, the designer explains her inspiration for the costume design.
All my ideas, everything comes from the script, and if it seems right for the character, then that's how I approach it. We wanted his character to have evolved from the first movie into the subsequent two. He had kind of attained more stature. I think he was more self-confident. We wanted him to have kind of a slight ecclesiastical feeling mixed in with a Zen Chinese feeling as well.
Trinity, played by Carrie-Anne Moss, is the first to contact Neo and the one that helps him find the answers he's searching for. Trinity's wardrobe mirrors the dualist characteristics of her personality. On the ship, she wears the standard Zion attire with light neutrals and blue tones, reflecting her attentive, trustworthy, and loyal demeanor. In The Matrix, Trinity is fierce and fearless, mirrored by the sleek and shiny aesthetics of her fight gear.
Trinity, we used PVC. We used quite cheap PVC, but we were on a much tighter budget. This time we tried to use more sophisticated and a little bit more expensive PVCs. I think the only texture we had was matte or shiny. Do they blend into a shadow or do they shine out from a shadow? No one else wears PVC. So if we see something glistening in the dark, we know it's her.
Dodge this.
Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, is a father-type figure to Neo, bringing him back to health and teaching him how to maneuver within the system. Morpheus strongly believes in Neo's ability to transform and stand triumphant in the face of opposition due to a prophecy and what he saw Neo do. Like Neo, Morpheus also wears a trench coat but removes his coat before engaging in battle with Agent Smith. The next person we see in a trench is Neo. On a deeper level, the shedding of Morpheus's coat can represent the symbolism of Neo's ascension and understanding and power by completely transferring the coat from Morpheus to Neo.
There's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path.
The tone of the Nebuchadnezzar atmosphere is echoed by the wardrobe of the crew. The crew generally wears grays and dark neutrals. The disheveled design of their uniform reflects emotionless and dingy surroundings, helping to cement the feeling of a reality that's ruled by machines. The use of dull colors helps to accentuate the visual impact created when the crew enters the Matrix, but it also gives us a clue about the crew's mission and intent. Aside from grays and blacks, some crew members are also seen wearing shades of blue, showing the representation of serenity, inspiration, or wisdom.
Very exciting time.
The traitor of the crew, CYPHER, played by Joe Pantoliano, is seen in light gray or black like the rest of the crew. But in one scene, we can see him wearing a shade of red or burgundy as he meets with Agent Smith. It's an easy element to miss, but it makes sense in hindsight. Reds or shades of red can represent passion or love, but it also represents blood, danger, or war.
No, I don't believe it.
A symbol of Neo's innocence or naivete passing away is represented in the Switch character during the group escape scene. Switch, played by Belinda McClory, dies as the team is double-crossed by CYPHER during an attempt to escape the digital realm. Aside from the sheer flesh-colored top accompanying her suit, she's the only character throughout the entire series completely adorned in white, a representation of innocence and purity. Ironically, this is the only time when she's not wearing black when the crew visits the Matrix.
Not like this.
The Oracle, played by Gloria Foster, is the mother figure that gives information that requires interpretation by the recipient. The messages are called prophecies, but the outcomes depend on the decision made by the character, not fate. She's seen in green with green surroundings as a symbol of earthiness and the epitome of Mother Nature, alluding to the idea that she is the motherboard. Aside from her exchange with Smith in Revolutions, she's never directly in the middle of the action but always aware of what's going on within the system and privy to information that's not always known by individual programs and malware.
You know what that means? It's Latin. Know thyself.
The agents pop up anywhere at any time and can delete any programs that aren't working properly. Agent Smith, played by Hugo Weaving, as well as the other agents, are adorned in green tailored suits accompanied by button-ups and ties. The green color would normally be tied to earthiness, but for the agents, the suit is a representation of their tie to the Matrix.
We've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson.
The Matrix brought us the idea of a new kind of reality and incorporated symbolism, edge, and creativity in the wardrobe design. The blending put us under a spell of sorts, a spell that still influences audiences and some of the best designers today. In part 2 of this series, I'll be covering the fashion stylings of Reloaded, so if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when a new video is dropped. And on that note, have an awesome day, be good to yourself and good to others. Peace.